a few songs.
Join us as we sing. I saw Satan fall like lightning. I saw darkness run for cover. But the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. I believe in signs and wonders. I have resurrection power. Still the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. My name is registered in heaven. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Come together, sons and daughters, bought with blood and washed in water. Sing the praises of the Spirit, Son, and Father. Our God will finish what He started. Sing that. Our God will finish what He started. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. You know, if you're not dead, He's not done. Sing this out. Not dead, then you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. I've tried so hard to see it. Took me so long to believe it. But you choose someone like me.
your victory. Perfection could never earn it. You give what we don't deserve, and you take the broken things, raise them to glory. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won. I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all. Now I can finally see it. You're teaching me how to receive it. So let all the striving cease. This is my victory. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won. I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all. Let's sing it out. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. Sing that out. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won, sing it out. I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated. By the power of your name, I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all.
What's up, Church Online? Man, we are so excited that you are here with us today. Man, it has been an amazing 3 weeks taking a trip down memory lane with you guys, taking a look at some old messages, seeing where we've been and where we've come to has been amazing. And I'm so glad you were able to join us. Now, if it is your first time with us this morning, I want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for checking us out online. But I have to ask you to do one thing. I need you to fill out an online Connect card. You can click Connect card at the top of your screen or in the live chat. If you would please do that, we want to know you're here. We want to connect with you. That is the most important thing that we could ask of you today. Now, we're going to transition into a time of giving. None of this happens without your generosity. Nothing. It is amazing what you give does for people around the world. Every single week we're seeing people joining us from Australia, from Israel, from everywhere, places I can't even pronounce. It is incredible what your generosity does, and it gives everybody an opportunity to say yes to Jesus. So thank you so much for your generosity. All right, guys, get up out your seat, do what you've got to do, wherever you're at the coffee shop, on the couch, stand up, and let's join the band for another song.
Open my eyes to the unseen. Once I was blind, but now I see. You tore down the walls that kept us apart. What seemed like the end was only the start. Sing this out. Heaven's all around, Jesus is near. I can see it now, your kingdom is near. Sing that again. Heaven's all around, Jesus is near. I can see it now, your kingdom is near. Yeah! There's still more to come. We know you'll finish what you've begun. Battles may rage, but we will not fear, 'cause we know our victory. Sing this! Standing right here. Hey! Heaven's all around, Jesus is here. I can see it now, your kingdom is here. Let me hear you sing that. Heaven's all around, Jesus is here. I can see it now, your kingdom is here. Invite him in. Come and move how you want to. Come and move how you want to. Come and make the old brand new. Come and move how you want
y'all have a seat and check out church news.
Help! 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 You hear that? That is Church With You in Ozark. We need volunteers. We need help. Painting, cleaning, picking up stuff, moving stuff. We need help. So, work days, they're going to be on the app. They're going to be on the website. You can find a work day. I'm pretty sure you can just pop in. They will put a brush in your hand or a vacuum in your hand, and you can get to helping. Also, Serve Day is
November 7th.
November 7th. I like doing it here. So that is the day dedicated for your Connect group to serve. And if you're not in a Connect group, I'm pretty sure get up with any Connect group leader and they will take volunteers for that too. So you can do a work day at church with you. You can do a Serve Day November 7th with your crew and your Connect group and feel the love. Also,
Crew night.
Crew night.
Prayer service.
November 4th. If y'all didn't hear Cheyenne from the back, Crew night. Prayer service, November 4th. Everyone needs prayers here in the Enterprise campus. So if you got it and you want some fun, come to Crew night, November 4th. Then November 7th, go do a Serve Day. Anything else? Swag store should be here soon. To TBA, to be announced. Soon as the swag store is here, there'll be an announcement on the app.
Well, swag store's supposed to be here like this Sunday.
Swag store is supposed to be open today. We are just hoping that it's here today. So if it's not here,
next Sunday is supposed to be in Ozark.
next Sunday it'll be in Ozark. So if you want some swag stuff and it's not here this Sunday, drive to Ozark. Or while you're there doing a work day, get up with somebody and get some swag. Never mind.
That's not an option.
That's not an option, and that's probably getting edited out anyway. Recap. November 4th, Crew night, Prayer Day. Then November 7th, Serve Day. Get your work on with your Connect group. Work days at Ozark. We need help. Figure it out. Come paint, come clean, come do everything. Have a great day. Yeah. I'm out.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
So I figured we'd just take a breather. How about that? Hey, welcome to Church With You, everybody. Y'all doing well? Hey, you look good, and I don't know if that's the hour or more of sleep that you got, but the main question is, how many of you feel better with the hour or more of sleep? How many of you didn't notice it at all? Yeah, that's about me right there. I didn't notice that one bit. Hey, if you're brand new with us, my name's Eric. Along with my wife, Cheyenne, and a team of people, we actually started Church With You a little over 6 years ago, and today we are one church that's meeting in multiple locations. We have 2 physical locations, one here in Enterprise, one in Ozark, and we got our church online campus joining us right now. Everybody's coming together, so come on, church, put your hands together. Welcome everybody to church. We love you, Ozark. Hey, we're coming. We're coming. I painted some stuff over there the other day. It's incredible. So the stuff that you see that is painted the best, that's what I did. The stuff that you see that painted the worst, I had nothing to do with that. Hey, I just want to start off by telling you we like extremes at Church With You. So last week we finished up a series that we called At the Movies. Right? How many of you love At the Movies? You loved it? It was fun. We took movies, we pieced it together, we did a message from it, we pitched it to you. It was great. and it was fun. It's exciting. There's a lot of laughter going around. So from one extreme to the other. So today we're talking politics, if you didn't get that already. And not a whole lot of laughter, not a whole lot of politics, excitement. Everybody's just nervous. And I don't know who's more nervous, whether that's me, whether that's you, or whether that's our overseers. But we all just a little nervous in here today. But I had somebody ask me this past week, well, why are you talking about politics in church? And let me just take it back. It's a simple answer. We've done it since the beginning of Church With You. Is we made out as a church to go, we're going to talk about what you're talking about. And that's it. Like I figured if you're talking about it around your dinner table, we should probably talk about it in church. And here's what I know. Everybody is talking about politics around the dinner table. Everybody, even people who have no earthly idea about anything to do with politics, are talking politics around the dinner table. So what we decided to do was, if you're talking about it, we're going to talk about it. We decided that a long time ago, before politics was kind of even in the picture. We launched in 2014, then we had the 2016 deal. We talked about it then. We're going to talk about it today. And I get it, right? I asked a couple of questions on social media this past week. I'm not a big social media person, right? And when I'm on there, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. Come on, how many of you land in Facebook Marketplace? Right there, that's where I am. Well, you don't like my stuff. I don't, unless it's on Facebook Marketplace. Then I'll save it if I like it, right? I mean, that's where I spend my time. That's where I spend my day. I don't go to social media a ton, and that's because I think it does something to your brain that it probably shouldn't be. And this is not what we're talking. We're talking politics today, not social media. But we're going to do a series in February of 2021 talking about the impacts that social media and all this stuff has on our brains and therefore has on our lives. So you're going to want to watch that one. That's going to be incredible. You're going to want to be here for that one. But today, here's the thing. I took to social media to ask a political question. And the way I phrased it, I thought was hilarious. I don't do social media often. But when I do, it's about politics. Come on, y'all catch that? Y'all know that? Okay, some of y'all sinners, y'all caught that. The rest of y'all have no earthly idea what I'm talking about. But I asked the question. I asked really two questions. As I asked one, hey, what was the filter that you have that a candidate would have to pass for you to be able to vote for them? And I got a lot of response, a lot of good response, a lot of people going back and forth and all that stuff like that. It was good. It was good. It was a cordial conversation on social media when it comes to social media. Then I asked the second question, and here's the second question, is whose side would Jesus be on if he were walking the earth today? And to be honest with you, I didn't get a whole lot of response to that one. And the response that I did get to that one was, well, I just don't think Jesus would pick a side. Well, I'm here to tell you as your pastor today, he would pick a side. He would definitely pick a side, and I know which side he's going to pick. And I want to tell you that today. So he would pick a side. It ain't that, oh, no, Jesus wouldn't pick a side. No, he's on a side. And we're going to figure out which one he's on today. You ready? It's going to be fun. You feel the tension in the room? It's like, would he actually be on a side? And does he actually know which side he's going to be on? I do. I know it. Now let's start back over, all right? We're not going to answer that question right now. But we're going to answer it in just a little bit. So here's the dilemma. Is everybody always says, and I want to go back and do a little history lesson because of some of the responses that I got on social media. And I made a 17 on my ACT, so you can take this for what it's worth. But I think we all need a little history lesson when it comes to what we're doing. Because what I saw from the answers on social media was, hey, church and state don't go together. God and politics don't go together. That's the reason why we got separation of church and state. Don't put them together. Why are you doing a series on it? And I would tell you that they do go together, and you can't separate them. All right, now here's the thing. Everybody goes back to the whole deal where Thomas Jefferson was like, hey, church and state, we need to put a wall between, church and deal. That's cool, but he didn't write the Constitution. Did you know that? Now, he wasn't a part of writing the Constitution. Like some of the guys that were a part of writing the Constitution, that guy named John Adams, who was the vice president to George Washington, and then he was the second president of the United States. That guy who actually was the president and who actually did write. Now, I'm not bashing Thomas Jefferson. You get, like, but the guy who actually did write the Constitution, check out what he had to say about the Constitution. He says this. He said, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. And then he makes the statement, he says, it is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. You know what that means? Is you can't separate it. We wrote it so that it would pertain to a moral and religious people. Now, here's the hard part, is when you lose morality and when you lose religion, what John Adams says is our Constitution is worthless. So can you separate church and state? I don't think so. Like the guy who actually wrote part of it says that you can't. Now, I get the whole Thomas Jefferson thing where he's like, hey, you got to separate that. Like I get some of that stuff, but the separation of church and state wasn't necessarily to keep church or religion out of politics. It was to keep government out of religion. Because the USA was founded, really the reason why we exist is for political or for religious freedom. Right? It's for you to believe what you want to. Right? Come and move how you want to. The USA, you can believe what you want to. Like that's the religious freedom that we have in our country. So it wasn't to keep church out of politics. It was to keep politics out of the church. Right? And now I get all the whole thing that was put into place in 1954. You got the Jefferson Act and all that basically told the church that they couldn't, or any nonprofit for that matter, that they couldn't stand on a stage and endorse a politician. Like, I get that, right? And I think that was great. I understand that. But the people who say that church and state can't mix, did you know before 1954, for 200 years, that churches would have election Sundays? 200 years before 1954, they would have election Sundays. And what they would do is they wouldn't bring the candidates up, but they would have the candidates side by side, and they would go, okay, here's the policy, here's what they believe, here's what we believe as followers of Jesus. Vote how you see fit. So with the Johnson Act, that you can't do that anymore from the stage necessarily. But how many of you know, like I'm not going to back a political candidate, and I'm not going to be up here, and I'm not going to tip my hat to where I'm voting, but at the end of the day, the church has to talk about it. Because if you're talking about it, then the church has to talk about it. Because how many of you know let's just be honest for a second. How many of you know that your belief and your thoughts in your head sometimes aren't the greatest mentors? About it, we don't just need another opinion. We need to know, okay, what does the Bible actually say? Does it pertain to some of this? Does it pertain? And I want to answer some of that. Right? Because the question of the day, and the reason why some of you came, is to get the answer to the question, whose side would Jesus be on if he were walking the earth today? You ready? Get your phone out. Make sure to be able to record as much as possible so that you can take this out of context as much as possible. You ready? Here we go. Whose side would Jesus be on if he were walking the earth today? He would be on the side of the church. Oh, that's just a cop-out. Come on, Pastor. Like you got to do a little bit more research than that. You got to do a little bit more research. If you're going to say he's on a political side, you need to say he's going to be on the Republican side. You need to say he's going to be on the Democratic side. That's just a cop-out. Do some research. Can I tell you this morning, I did some research, and I found out that this is the true answer. Is that he does pick a side, and he always sides with the church. Jesus says, I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. He is building the church. He is not about building your political party. He is about building the church. Does that mean he is not like aware of what's going on or working through what? No. He's working. He's aware. He knows way more than we know, and it all works and it all matters, but he is behind the church. And if Jesus is behind the church, then where should you and I be behind? Now, y'all answered that quickly. But does your social media show that? Come on, I'm a pastor this morning. Y'all good with that? Like we're gonna preach a little bit, but we're gonna pastor a lot more. It's because if I can look at your social media account and know you more by your political party than by who you follow, then something's wrong. Jesus is not back in the Republican Party. He is not back in the Democratic Party. He is back in the church. He didn't say, I'll build the Republican Party and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. He didn't say, I'll build the Democratic Party and the gates of hell will not stand against it. He says, I will build the church and the gates of hell will not prevail against the church. And he'll work through anything. There's stories in Scripture. There's stories in history. There's stories everywhere you look where God can work through a righteous person and he can work through an unrighteous person. And his goal still gets done. So to be honest with you, I could care less who wins the election because Jesus is going to move in the middle of any of it. Well, our country will fall apart. Then Jesus will move through it. Well, people won't get taken care of. Well, then the church should do something about it. The government needs to the government has taken the place of the church for way too long. And we are resting on a candidate to bring like a fix to social injustice. Well, a candidate in a political party doesn't have a fix for that. We're waiting on a candidate to fix inequality. Well, a candidate in a political party doesn't have a fix to that. Well, we're waiting on a candidate or a political party to put families back together. Listen, a candidate cannot do that. Only Jesus can do that. And we've been waiting for so long for the government to take care of what the church should be taking care of the whole time. Come on, you didn't see it going this way, did you? Or did you? Come on, I could care less who you vote for. I could care less who wins. But in the world we live in, you always got to pick a side. Isn't that where we're at? Pick a side. What side you on? I had somebody baiting me the other day. I was having a conversation with them outside, and they were baiting me. They were going, well, what do you think about Trump and how he's doing this? What do you think about Biden, how he's doing that? Well, I mean, here's what I know is Jesus is going to work through the middle of it all. You ain't going to get anything out of me. You know what? Because that's my choice, and that's my stuff. But what more so than that, I need people to know that I'm a follower of Jesus than a Republican or a Democrat. Come on, but here's the thing. We're not the only ones being pulled. We're not the only ones going, hey, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. Jesus was more involved in political questions than you realize. Now, he got pressed multiple times on the source of politics and which side that he's on. So I don't have time to take you through all of them because we got to run. We got 10 minutes, and we got to get through it all. So at the end of the day, here's what I need you to know. There's one time where he's standing in front of a political leader where this political leader pressed him into picking a side, and Jesus made a statement that I think you and I as followers of Jesus need to understand this morning. You ready? Here's the story. John chapter 18, verse 33. Pilate then went back inside the palace, summoned Jesus, and asked him, are you the king of the Jews? There's the question. Which side are you on? Are you with them or are you with them? Pick a side. Pick a side. Jesus responded to him and he says, is that your own idea or did others talk to you about it? I think that's a good nugget in and of itself right there. Because here's what I can tell you in the political race that we're in right now, everybody wants Jesus on their side. Everybody. The Democratic Party wants Jesus on their side. The Republican Party wants Jesus on their side. People will come to you and go, you should vote this way because if Jesus were here, that's what he would do. Can I caution you and tell you, be careful who you listen to and the advice that you take when they say, if Jesus were here, he would do. Be careful. Do a little research on your own. Right, but we live in a world right now where the Democratic Party wants Jesus on their side and the Republican Party wants Jesus on their side. And to be honest with you, there's a little bit of the heart of Jesus in every single politician and every single candidate and every single party, even though that may be difficult for some of us to realize. Because if you're a part of the Democratic Party, and that's kind of where you align as far as your values, the majority of Democrats would come back to you and they would go, but if Jesus were here, he would align with us because of the compassion that he had for people. And then if you align with the Republican Party, the majority of Republicans would come back and go, but Jesus would align with us because of his values and he would align with the Republican Party. Well, the truth is he's in both of them. Whether or not you can see it through the goggles that our social media and the media in general has put over your lenses, is the heart of Jesus is in both parties. And you can see it across the board. Now, is there stuff that's jacked up? Yeah. Yeah, but we have this cool saying at Church With You where we don't talk about other people being jacked up. We say that we are a bunch of jacked up people. So let's stop bashing other people for being jacked up when you and I are screwed up ourselves. Does that make sense? He goes on, he says, am I a Jew? Your own people. The chief priest handed you over to me. What is it that you have done? Here's the statement. Here's why I can tell you that Jesus would pick the church. Because he says this multiple times, but watch what he says right here. He says, my kingdom is not of this world. Are you with them or are you with them? You on this side or you on this side? Jesus steps into a situation and he says, listen, I'm about the church. I'm about my kingdom. I'm about building my stuff. Right? Do I need to give Caesar what's Caesar's? Yes. I'm going to give God what's God's, but I'm about the church. I ain't picking a side. I ain't going around. I am about the church. Right? And then he goes on. He says it again. But now my kingdom is from another place. It's from another place. Jesus would pick the side of the church. He'd pick the side of the church. So here's my concern. Is that we're backing something that Jesus isn't backing. Okay, because as followers of Jesus, you got a role to play. You ready? We're gonna pound this out the rest of the time, and it's going to be fast, and it's going to be hard, and we're going to get after it. You ready? Paul says it like this in Philippians. Look at what it says. Above all, you must. Like you got to. If you're not a follower of Jesus, you can sit back and watch followers of Jesus squirm for the next couple of minutes. You ready? You must. You don't have an option. Paul says you lost your ability to make a choice that is your own without having some form of a conversation with somebody else when you said yes to a relationship with Jesus. You lost it. Because when you said yes to a relationship with Jesus, now everything gets filtered through him and his thoughts and his heart and his ideas and what he's saying to our lives. We lost that when you said yes to a relationship with him. Paul said, you must live as citizens of heaven. You are not part of this. It doesn't mean that I'm not proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American. I'm grateful that I live here. This thing doesn't mean that I don't have a political idea or thought or way that I lean, because I do. Everybody does. This doesn't mean that I'm not going to go vote on Tuesday. I'm going to go vote. I think you should vote. It's your right. It's your duty, I think, as a citizen. But what Jesus said when he stepped in at Pilate, and what Paul says right here is he says, but you're living for a bigger kingdom. This one that you're in isn't the end-all, be-all, because I'm building one for you. I'm going ahead of you to prepare a place for you so that when you come, you can spend it with me for eternity. You and I are so focused on the one here, and we lose focus on the one that he's creating for us, and it sidetracks our lives, and we walk into the trap that Jesus said Satan does, that he comes to steal, kill, and destroy every part of your life. But Jesus says, I've come so that you could have life. But you'll never have life if you don't figure out how to be a citizen of heaven and not get sidetracked by everything else. But then he goes on. He makes it worse. He says, then you should conduct yourselves in a manner that is worthy. Conduct yourselves in a manner that's worthy. Here's my concern. Is that we're going to be known for being under a party rather than being under God. Because we're not conducting ourselves in a manner worthy, we're going to be known for being under a party instead of being known for under God. My concern is that they're going to know that you're a Republican more than a follower of Jesus. My concern is they're going to know that you're a Democrat more than a follower of Jesus. And can I tell you, if you don't get anything else out of today, this is what I need you to get. I want you to understand this more. I've been praying about this message all week long, and to be honest with you, I have never really wanted to preach it. Because we're more divided now than we've ever been. But my goal for followers of Jesus, in the middle of all the tension, all the mess that's going on, is that we would remember that we are followers of Jesus first and Americans second. There are too many followers of Jesus that are destroying relationships over secondary issues. We are followers of Jesus first and Americans second. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in a party. Be in one, I don't care. But you are a follower of Jesus first. There are followers of Jesus right now unfollowing other followers of Jesus on social media just because they posted something that didn't agree with what they agreed with. There are lost people who have yet to say yes to a relationship with Jesus, who are watching followers of Jesus act out in hate and anger and have conversations that are hurtful in situations that we never should have before, and it's solidifying the fact and the reason that they have never said yes to a relationship with Jesus, because they're a whole bunch of hypocrites. And it's because we lost fact. We've lost it. The understanding that we are followers of Jesus first and Americans second. I could care less who you vote for, but my heart deeply cares who you live for. I could care less who you vote for. It is your freedom to vote for whoever you want to vote for. But it is my heart that you would live for Jesus in the middle of it. It's my heart. Jesus says this. He says, a couple of hours before Pilate pressed him, he was in the room with his disciples, and he says, my prayer is that you do not take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. The evil one is not Biden. The evil one is not Trump. We're in a spiritual battle that's way bigger than this kingdom that we're trying to vote for in the United States of America. And he goes on, he says this. It's coming. My prayer is not for them alone, talking about the disciples, but I pray also for those who believe in me through their message. That's talking about Church With You. That's talking about us. That all of them may be one, just as you and I are one. And he goes on, he says, I've given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one, I and you and me, that they may be brought to complete unity. Complete unity. You know what that's under? Not the unity of I'm going to vote for the same person you vote for, but for complete unity that we are followers of Jesus first and we are Americans second. We are followers of Jesus first. We are Americans second. You ready for me to answer the first question? I answered the second one. Whose side is Jesus on? The church. Can we give you a good filter going into Tuesday? As a follower of Jesus, here's your filter. You ready? We can disagree on the secondary, but we'll be unified on the primary. We can disagree on the secondary, but we're going to be unified on the primary. I'm going to tell you this story as the band comes up, as campus pastors come up in their spots. I'm going to tell you this story. How many of you have ever had a Jehovah's Witness come to your door? You ever had them come to your door? You're like, how are you going to connect it? Just wait. So when we lived in Haynesville, Louisiana, we were student pastors over there, and I don't know what it was about that area, but man, I don't know what it was about our house, to be honest, but they came to it all the time. And they would knock. And the first couple of conversations where I was nice and calm, and well, you're going to believe what you believe, I'm going to believe what I believe, and all that. And then I started forgetting that they were people. And I would bash them. Like, not bad, but I would like prove to them multiple times in a very firm tone that what you believed isn't true. And I'd come back in after I'd crushed one, and I'd tell Cheyenne, hey, today they got it. They got the best of Eric. I crushed them. And I lied to you not. You can ask Cheyenne. The next time they walk up, there's two people walk up. This one lady had the old school Bluetooth in the deal, and she would ask a question, and I would respond, and she wouldn't respond, and I could hear somebody talking to her in her deal. And I was like, you see this? Like, I'm crushing these people. They had to call the home office. And I'd walk back in, and I'd be so proud of myself, and because I'm an idiot, I told Cheyenne, I was like, I hope they come back. I'm going to crush them again. And because she's way godlier than me, she made this statement, I'll never forget it, and I want to propose it to you today, she said, you do know that they are human, and that if they die without knowing Jesus, they're going to spend eternity in hell. You do know that your Democratic friend or your Republican friend, if they don't know Jesus, they're going to die and spend eternity in hell. Is that worth your party winning? Is that worth all the ruckus that we've caused? Is it worth being right? See, and this is what I had to do. Throw that last verse up there. Humble yourself. Therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Are we known more for being under a party? Or does somewhere in our hearts we got to humble ourselves under God and his call and his role in our lives? Come on, every head bowed, every eye closed. I want to give you this challenge. That as followers of Jesus, we can't get sidetracked by secondary issues. There's a greater kingdom that is at hand. There is more on the line. Jesus stepped in and told Pilate, he says, I'm here to create something bigger than an election. He's stepping in and telling us, hey, I've created something, I'm building something that is greater than whoever wins on Tuesday. And can I tell you, as followers of Jesus, if we lose sight that we are followers of Jesus first and American citizens second, then we would destroy the relationships that God put in our lives to have so that we could lead them to Jesus. How many of us are sabotaging the very thing that God put in our lives for us to reach because we've lost sight that we are followers of Jesus first and Americans second? I don't care who you vote for, but I deeply care about who you live for. So if you're here this morning and you've never said yes to a relationship with Jesus, can I tell you today's the day to do it? Today's the day you do it. Because you're in a safe place. And so if you vote for Trump, you're welcome here. If you vote for Biden, you're welcome here. If you don't vote at all, you're welcome here. We want you to come in. Because I could care less who you vote for, but I want you to live for the one who gave himself for you. So if you're here and you've never said yes to a relationship with Jesus, and that's the step you need, we're going to lead you in that right now. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to the campus pastors. They're going to take their locations, and I'm going to turn to Enterprise right here. Tell you, if that's you, just on the count of three, all I want you to do is just lift your hand up, just right where you are. If you're going to say yes to a relationship with Jesus today, just right where you are. On the count of three, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Right now, just lift them up. Keep them up for just a second. We're not going to make you stand. We're not going to call you out. It's from your heart to God, right here. You can just say underneath your breath, you can say, Jesus, I need you. come into my life and forgive me. I'm submitting my heart to you. Take over. I separate my sin as far as the east is from the west. Give me new life today. And the Bible says that if you said that, if you made that prayer, if that was your heart, then you're a brand new creation today. And hey, we want to know about it. We want to know. So if you made that decision, if that was your hand, if that was your heart, then the easiest thing for you to do is when you walk out, if you'll stop by the Next Steps table and just tell them, hey, listen, I gave my heart to Jesus. I want to tell somebody. They'll give you a little Connect card. They'll let you fill it out. They'll give you a free gift to help you on this brand new life that Jesus gave you. Come on, church. Stand to your feet right where you are. We're going to make a declaration right now that we're not going to get sidetracked by the secondary, but we're going to be united in the primary. There are people that are dying and going to hell in your sphere of influence and in my sphere of influence. And me being in one political party or another ain't going to get them to heaven. So right now we're just going to make a declaration to go, you know what? Listen, even though things look bad and even though they look bleak and even though conversations with people look bad and even though you're looking at a neighbor or a coworker or something and you're going, there's no hope, can I tell you that Jesus brings hope out of hopelessness. Jesus brings wholeness out of brokenness. Jesus brings everything that we need to every situation. So if you and I will humble ourselves under God's mighty hand, then we'll be able to cast all our anxiety to him. How many of you are grateful that he's still working, that he's still moving, that he's still in your situation, that he's still in your corner, that it doesn't matter what's going on, he's still there. So we're going to make a declaration to him today, believing this with our heart today. We're going to sing this with everything that we got, and we're going to believe it Monday. We're going to believe it Tuesday when we vote, and we are going to go, hey, Jesus loves you, to every single person who walks out. How many of you are believing that? There are people who are going to say yes to a relationship with Jesus, not by our political party, but by our faith in the person who gave his life for us. Come on, church, let's make a difference. Let's do this thing. Come on, sing this out.
If I'm not dead, then you're not dead. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not dead. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not dead. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not dead. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony.
Thank you so much for joining us. You'll have a great week.
Hey guys, what an incredible message. I am so glad you were here to join us. Guys, come back again next week. You guys have an incredible week.